Lesson 276.
Mr. Knott was a teacher. He taught in a big school in London. He lived a long way from school, so he was usually quite tired when he got home. At 9 o'clock one evening, when he was in bed, the telephone bell rang in the hall of his small house, so he went downstairs, picked up the telephone, and said, "This is Whitebridge 3165. Who's speaking, please?" "What?" a man answered. "What's your name, please?" said Mr. Knott. "What's my name?" was the answer. "Yes, I asked you that. What's your name?" Mr. Knott said again. "I told you." "What's my name?" said the other man. "Are you Jack Smith?" "No, I'm not," answered Mr. Knott. "Will you give me your name, please?" said Mr. What. "Will not," answered Mr. Knott. Both Mr. What and Mr. Knott put their telephone down angrily and thought, that was a rude, stupid man.
Lesson 277.
Carol Roberts left school when she was 17 and then thought, what's going to happen now? I want to marry a nice, young man and have children, but no nice, young men have asked me yet. Will I meet one soon, and will he want to marry me? She spoke to her best friend about these questions, and her best friend said, go and ask a fortune teller. Perhaps she'll give you the answers. So Carol went to see a fortune teller. The fortune teller said to her, I'll give you answers to 2 questions. It'll cost you £5. Carol was surprised. She thought for some time, but at last, she paid the money. Then she said to the fortune teller, isn't that very expensive for only 2 questions? Yes, it is, answered the fortune teller. And now what's your second question?
Lesson 278.
Jack had a small, red car and he liked driving it very fast. This was all right when he was out in the country, but in towns and big villages driving fast is dangerous, so there is always a speed limit. In Jack's country, it was 50 kilometers an hour. Jack often drove faster than that through towns. One day Jack was driving his small, red car through a town when a very young policeman stopped him and said, you were driving at more than 50 kilometers an hour, sir. Please give me your name and address. Jack looked at the young policeman carefully for a few seconds and then said to him, but I started my journey less than an hour ago. The policeman was new to this work and did not know the answer to Jack's excuse. He thought for a few seconds and then let Jack go.
Lesson 279.
Dick was 7 years old, and his sister, Catherine, was 5. One day their mother took them to their aunt's house to play while she went to the big city to buy some new clothes. The children played for an hour, and then at 4:30, their aunt took Dick into the kitchen. She gave him a nice cake and a knife and said to him, now here's a knife, Dick. Cut this cake in half and give one of the pieces to your sister, but remember to do it like a gentleman. Like a gentleman? Dick asked. How do gentlemen do it? They always give the bigger piece to the other person, answered his aunt at once. Oh, said Dick. He thought about this for a few seconds. Then he took the cake to his sister and said to her, cut this cake in half, Catherine.
Lesson 280.
A small boy and his father were having a walk in the country when it suddenly began to rain very hard. They did not have their umbrellas with them, and there was nowhere to hide from the rain, so they were soon very wet, and the small boy did not feel very happy. For a long time, while they were walking home through the rain, the boy was thinking. Then at last he turned to his father and said to him, why does rain, father? It isn't very nice, is it? No, it isn't very nice, but it's very useful, Tom, answered his father. It rains to make the fruit and the vegetables grow for us, and to make the grass grow for the cows and sheep. Tom thought about this for a few seconds, and then he said, then, why does it rain on the road too, father?